All right, back in the vintage cube or powered cube per arena. This is a pretty easy pack one, pick one in Mox Pearl. Really stacked pack. LED, Luris, so those obviously can't go together because unlikely that either would wheel. Skull Clamp, a Johnny Tameo, Vaultborn Tyrant in one of the better kind of like reanimation slash ramp targets. Chain Lightning, very good. Honestly, this Path to Exile, this pack is stacked. I mean, 8 cards coming out of this pack. One's the Mox Pearl. LED Luris, a Johnny Tameo should never wheel, nor should Skull Clamp, so that's 5. So we're gonna get some combination of Grief, Vaultborn, 6, Lumbering, maybe Path. Path shouldn't wheel actually. One, two, three, four, five. So that's 6 cards. I mean, we could very easily wheel Scrubland. That's crazy. Either way, Mox Pearl, no brainer. Moving on. I feel like we keep ending up in this, but Ragavan is just that good. Pearl is also pretty great. There wasn't really a crazy. Oh no, Tameo was in the last pack. That's a problem. It's very possible whoever we just pass that pack to takes Tameo. And if that's the case, that's sad. I really want them to take a Johnny and go into Boros. Kind of we're guessing, right? We don't know if they took a Johnny and they're going to end up in like a Boros deck, or if they took Tamio and they're going to end up in a controlling deck. I kind of want to do the other one of whatever they're ending up in. There's nothing really else here for me. I'm not taking a Wooded Foothills with 2 premium cards like this. Mox Pearl in aggressive decks. It's pretty good. Red cards in the last pack was just Chain Lightning. I'm gonna take Brainstorm. I think it leaves me open to better decks. Ragavan kind of closes the door a little bit on like what we could be. Oh, we could have taken Ragavan into Fable. Honestly, though, I'm not too upset about taking Brainstorm into Fable. We could be a more control-y deck as opposed to like an aggro Boros deck and just play super high quality cards ahead of curve. Ugin's an amazing ramp out target. Ice Tail Explorer is great for the lands deck. Um, but I think Fable's an easy choice here. Time Spiral is also decent for the wheel deck, but I'm gonna slam a Fable. It's one of my favorite cards of all time too. So I played the absolute heck out of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty and Draft. It's one of the best draft formats of all time, potentially, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Hmm, nothing the most exciting here. We could take Brazen Borrower, which I like. Starting Town's just a decent land. Pentad Prism's really for the more broken kind of decks. I'm kind of happy taking Brazen here. It's the only blue card in the pack. Whoever took Tameo is like, what the heck is happening here? How you pass Tameo and then cut me out of blue, and kind of exactly what we're doing. We could also take Pending and or Prismatic Ending and just go straight into Jeskai. We already have the Pearl for it, and Prismatic Ending's really good in general and also in 3-color decks, especially. Overlord's quite decent, although we're a little short on non-avatar creature cards. We have 0 creature cards. I'm gonna take Brazen Borrower though. Signal Blue is maybe closed. That's a crazy sound effect for Mr. Brazen Borrower. Hmm. Tropical Island. We're pretty not in that right now. Nadu is just a good card. Tameo's a good card. Tursa's a good card. I don't think there's a wrong choice here. Trop opens us up to being able to play stuff like Minxkin and a lot of the good green blue cards we've already seen, honestly. I kind of want to just stick with red blue right now, and Tursa's great. I think all these cards are close. Nadu's the best card, Trop's the next best card, but they're not so much better than Tursa that's like, ooh, I want to play another color. And Tursa's just good. So, pretty happy doing this. Maybe we're just red blue beats. Ooh, Narset does give us some solid direction. However, I have to respect the signal that is a 6th pick Parallax Wave. This card just wins the game. I like Narset just as much as next person. It's pretty decent in our deck as well because it can get permanent like Fable as just non-creatures. Um, and if Parallax Wave wasn't in the pack, I'd take it, but I think Parallax Wave is a huge signal. This is one of the best white cards in the cube. I actually did a short asking what do you think the third best white card is. There's a whole conversation around, cubes are not defined by the best cards for each color, but rather, the cards that come after, a couple picks after. Well, Prismatic Vista is a three-color land in our deck. As much as I would like to take Flame Slash, I think a three-color land is too good to pass here. It also shuffles for Brainstorm, which is super important. I would love to take Flame Slash. Duress, also a super late signal. You main board Duress, certainly, in best of three, and just an amazing sideboard card if somehow you're not going to play it. Although it's almost like a reverse sideboard card. It's a card in your deck that you're very happy playing in your initial deck, but it's a card that in the right matchup you're happy to take out as well, which allows you to bring in other things. It's just a good card. Figure of Destiny is not really where our deck is. Pest Infestation, that's crazy for how late this is. Eighth pick Pest Infestation. Just no one's playing green. Maybe we're like Domain, like we're five color, we're just five color good stuff. I mean, I could take Lion Sash here. Lion Sash is legit anti-graveyard card. Just a good creature. Mindclops is fine. Pest Infestation's nuts. But yeah, I'm pretty happy taking a Lion Sash here. I mean, I can't get over this. This is such a late Pest Infestation, but we've already passed Nadu and Urdo and all these green cards. Luris? Chain Lightning? Every green card wield? Luris on our deck just gets LED or Lion Sash right now. Also LED wield. We are in the colors for LED. I'm gonna hedge on it. LED going around means that no one first picked like Underworld Breach or anything like it. And if we end up with Echo of Eons, which we'd already take, we end up it gives us options to have more broken games. Red Fetch, sign me up. We're getting Inti and Pyrokinesis. And funny enough, Savannah makes Wooded Foothills untapped white, which is relevant. I don't think it's more relevant than being able to play an Inti. Yeah, I don't think it's more relevant than being able to play an Inti. Prismatic Ending Wield, what a gift. These are zeros, so they go in the land slot. Inspiring Vantage as an untapped red white in the early game. Savitri as a fetchable tapped white source. I'll get Vantage here. It's just a good land. Um, Taiga makes Wooded Foothills untapped green, but it already was. Wow, last pick Flame Slash. We almost took that when we saw that card the first time. Crazy. Um, this is a yucky pack. I don't really care for much. Steam Vents for us makes Wooded Foothills blue, and it's just a good land. I mean, realistically, we're not playing black or green, right? So in this pack, we can take Wan Shi Tong, which is fine. Portable Hole, which I like. It's just a bunch of whatever cards, right? Like the person who sees this pick, the person that sees this pack, seventh pick, is taking about the same power level card that we are. And that's never the pack you want to open, right? The person that sees the seventh pick is like, wow, this is a pretty decent pack right now. This must have had crazy stuff in it. It's like, nope, it just had like 9 cards that were all about the same power level. All right, Steam Vents for me. Just fix my mana. Ooh, Ocelot Pride. Sign me up. Is there power in this pack? No? All right, Ocelot Pride it is. Uh, I'd be content with wheeling Bone Crusher or Get Lost. I don't think Currency Converter should ever wheel, and Stern Scolding would go in my deck as a sideboard card at the very least. But Ocelot Pride just gives us some pretty broken starts. And we're still watching for things that could pair well with this LED. There's a bunch of cards that just could pair well with it, so weird combo of play it with Tursa and then sacrifice it and put cards in the graveyard so that Tursa triggers for a random card from our graveyard. Rare but possible synergies. Lightning Bolt seems like a pretty free roll here. Hollowed Fountain's not fetchable off Wooded Foothills, so it's a little worse than it would be otherwise. I wouldn't mind picking up a Hollowed Fountain, but I think Lightning Bolt is just a free roll, and I'm going to take it. It's very rare that I'm not happy to have a Lightning Bolt in my deck. Well, I want all three of these cards very badly. I need Counter Magic. We currently have none. Teferi is kind of absurd. And Planisphere also goes pretty crazy. I do think I gotta take Scary Teferi, 3 Teferi. Since we have no counter magic, being able to just shut down our opponent's counter magic in those control matchups is going to be quite relevant. Days when we have for islands just the steam vents. Hmm, like what else am I taking here? Blue green talisman, man complex that I don't really want. I'll take it, and there's many a world where I don't play it, but it's the best potential card in our deck. Lion Sash, I'm pretty content most of the time just main boarding, even though it's a hate bearer. Uh, Fabled Passage or Mother of Runes. All these red white cards are fine, but not the most amazing. Mother of Runes single-handedly can house, creature-based strategies where you just keep this up as a blocker and give it self-protection and it forces them to remove it. It's also pretty crazy with Ocelot Pride. So we're not going to have a lot of ways to actually win the game with this deck, so we need to make sure the ways that we do have to win the game are uh, defensible, right? So Teferi's not a win condition. Tursa can be, Fable can be. Oh, whoa, we're on watch. Underworld Breach LED, 2 out of 3 assembled. I'd love to take a mana leak, but I think with a LED in hand, we have to try for the LED breach combo. The thing is, this is the two most important pieces to go together, because even if you don't see Brain Freeze, you can use these two to play out multiple cards from your graveyard. Frantic Search helps with that quite a bit. Fiery Confluence as a way to just kind of house certain decks is important. This fills the graveyard very quickly, which is relevant for us. I think Fiery Confluence is too good to pass over Frantic Search. It just does too much. It just ensures we can actually get to the point where we can win the game, or this card can be a single card win condition. I have many a time cast this card, and you blow up two relevant artifacts and deal 2 damage to their face, and they just concede because they're just too difficult to come back from that when you're like a artifact strategy or whatnot. Faithless Looting or Galvantic Discharge. For removal, we have Flame Slash, Lightning Bolt, Prismatic, Confluence, Parallax Wave. Could also take Portable Hole. I'm thinking about this looting as a way to kind of fill the graveyard for Breach, but I think Portable Hole here to be able to hit those permanents that our normal removal can't is relevant. Um, Easy Stern Scolding. Wooded Foothills doesn't help with any of these fetches. I think Stern Scolding is going to be a sideboard card for us, but it's a hell of a sideboard card when it's relevant. Hollowed Fountain Wield, I think that's better than FOMO. Just continuing to have good mana. We have a whole nother path. Oh my goodness, Miscalc Wield. What a gift. What a gift. We so desperately need some interaction on the stack. There are so many permanents and or so many cards in Vintage Cube that your real issue is them just resolving, even if you have good answers for them afterward. Not to mention a lot of our good removal is sorcery speed. Horrible Hole, Flame Slash, Prismatic Ending are all sorcery. Parallax Wave isn't till turn 4, nor is Fiery Confluence, so Mana Confluence as a free roll land, I'm a lot more excited to play. I didn't want to take it highly, especially with how, late in the game our deck wants to go, but right now we've assembled, 2/3 of the best combo in Vintage Cube or in this version of Vintage Cube, which is the Breach LED combos. Um, wow, Galvanic Blast last pick. Not gonna go on my main board, but absolutely would sideboard it. All right, there's plenty of card that we would take very highly here. Let's see what we're working with on this pack. Grim, but we don't have the combos with it. Plateau makes Wooded Foothills untapped white. which is pretty decent. JVP with this many instant and sorceries seems pretty great. And it fills the graveyard also for our breach combo. Yeah, I think JVP is my pick here. Plateau might very well wheel. And then we're also pretty happy taking Unholy Heat, Dak Faden. I'd play Duelist of the Mind. So there's actually a decent number of cards we could wheel here, but I think JVP is pretty great. And of course, nothing matters more to us than Brain Freeze. We find Brain Freeze, this deck is online. In the meantime, Reprieve seems like my pick here. I could take Wasteland, but we have no way to recur it. There's a Crucible in the pack here as well, which is unfortunate. Flash is great, but we have no flash targets. We're super far from that. And Spell Pierce isn't bad either, but I think Reprieve is just very nice. I'm a big fan of the card. Echo to go with our LED over Vivi. I mean, Vivi's very good, especially with LED Underworld Breach being able to recur a bunch of stuff, make a bunch of mana, and then do VV things. I think Echo's too good. We have a couple ways to get in the graveyard off of JVP, LED itself, and then, just there are a lot of starts where we just curve out like a monster and then quickly LED and force them to have a new hand and kind of hope that their new hand is not nearly as good as the hand that they had originally. Thunder Trap Trainer's not bad in our deck, nor is Mystical Archive. Urza's Saga goes and gets LED or our Mox though, so being able to just tutor for half of our combo seems pretty great off a land. Minkskin Boo, we do have a free roll Taiga. There's Mag Vista and Mana Confluence as well. Is that better than Remand? Minkskin Boo is just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous card. There's also a Valk here. Like a million cards we could take out of this pack. I want all of them. I think the real answer is Minkskin Boo, though. It's obnoxious, but we have so many ways to actually get a green in. This Taiga looks like a great pickup now. Yeah, Minkskin Boo is just that good. We have two more packs because this one doesn't have it, to see Brain Freeze, which we know nobody else is doing. Here, I can take a Braid. I can take my Triome, though. I think my Triome is the no-brainer. Our mana is just going to be fantastic. And we have well enough cards. And like I said, I'm happy to run LED Echo Underworld Breach as my full combo, even if I don't see Brain Freeze. Obviously, I'd like to see Brain Freeze. All right, one last pack that it could be in. Aether Spellbomb is more of an artifact deck on its own. It's very okay. Iteration or Robber of the Rich? I really like Robber of the Rich, especially in these decks where you're kind of just controlling the pace yourself, but we're often going to have more cards in hand than our opponent. And Expressive Iteration digs very deep to find combo pieces or just good cards. Eighth pick. No Brain Freeze for us. We can take another good land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 non-basics already. Take another good land. We take Sarah Paragon. Not really what we're doing. Season Pyro's decent. I'm just gonna take another good land. I want perfect mana. You can't stop me. More perfect mana? Getting to a range where my mana is so good that the question becomes, is it even worth it? Dak Faden is pretty obnoxious. I think I take him here. We're just a bunch of planeswalkers and high quality cards, and we're gonna win the game that way. I don't know. I'll hate draft. Well, actually, Haywire might very possibly as a sideboard card for us. We have green as a color we're already playing, so red, blue, green Triome or just Sacred Foundry. I feel like it's gotta be Sacred Foundry. We have all three of our fetches. Trinket Mage in this deck? I don't think so. I don't want Copperline Gorge. I don't think Trinket Mage. It goes and gets Portable Hole too. as a bonus. So it gets Portable Hole LED or our Mox. I don't know. I'll take Evora, I guess. I'm not playing another tap land. I want the rest of these to be basics because we have Prismatic Vista. Okay. Well, this just got really. This is an interesting deck now. Not playing Thalia and last pick Restless Fence. That's fine. Absolutely playing Daze now, and then LED and Underworld Breach are going in the deck for sure. So the question is, what are our cuts? Well, the first cut is easy because Arena does not count Mox Pearl as a land. Goodbye, Mox Pearl for a Plains. That's super easy. And our curve taps out at 4. Echo of Eons is a 3-drop because we're never really casting it for 6. We're going to LED it or, cast it from the graveyard at worst, right? So that's kind of the plan. So we need, realistically, I think this is a 16 land deck for sure. So I like playing one of each basic instead of two. Sorry, Brazen Borrower is a 2-drop. I'm just moving things to where they actually are curve-wise. What's our worst card? It could be Lion Sash as really a hate card, and it's a little clunky in our deck since we're 4 colors, so we're not going to have an absurd amount of white to be able to use its ability with impunity. Everything else is pretty premium. Yeah, I think it's Elite or it's Lion Sash. I love the card and I often sideboard it in, but I think knowing it's the right matchup for it's gonna be important. But here's our deck. We're doing Breach LED. So the combo with this is LED, you discard your hand and add 3 mana of any color after sacrificing it. So it's Black Lotus with extra steps. Super important that discarding your hand is part of the cost, which means you cannot use this to pay for things from your hand. But what it does mean is you can use it to pay for things from anywhere else. So things on the board obviously can use this mana, but more importantly is with Underworld Breach, every non-land card in your graveyard has Escape. Escape means that you can cast it from your graveyard for its escape cost. The escape cost is equal to its regular cost plus exiling 3 ever cards from your graveyard. So you discard your hand with LED, make mana, and then just start casting things from your graveyard. And then you can recast LED, but you have no hand now, so there's not really a cost to redoing it. This all combos very nicely with Echo of Eons as well, where you discard your hand and put this in the graveyard, and then it has flashback, which means you can cast it from your graveyard, and it's everyone draws 7 and shuffles their hand in graveyard. So what you can do is you can play out, land, 1-drop, LED, Echo of Eons, and your opponent on turn 0 for them, right? Assuming you went first, doesn't even get to use their opening hand. They have a random 7 cards. You have 7 cards as well, so it's technically an even playing field. But you already played land 1-drop of some form, right? And as a result, you're 2 full cards ahead, and you've unmulliganed them, right? So whatever hand they kept, they wanted, right? So you're just giving them a random hand, which could be way worse. They could have no lands, they could have all lands. You never know. Whereas you already have a 1-drop in play, so at the very least, and a mana in play. So at the very least, you're 2 cards ahead. It's also great in our deck because we have LED, so we can shuffle LED back in, redraw it, and then do more busted stuff all in turn 1. So that's what we're going to try and do. So let's move towards that. But if you've been enjoying this draft so far, if you're a fan of Arena Power Cube, Vintage Cube, drafting in general, really appreciate if you subscribed. We're super close to 100 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it if you did. All right, let's jump into our first game. All right, game 1, we're on the play. Sign me up. Turn 1 Urza Saga. Don't really want to turn 1 it. Still keeping this hand though. I think we play turn 1 tap Steam Vents as opposed to holding up Lightning Bolt. Simply because any 1-drop they play that we would want a Lightning Bolt, we're pretty content with just Prismatic ending on our second turn. So we don't really have anything to do with the mana anyway. Opponent's really thinking about whether or not they want to keep this hand. All right, our opponent mulliganed down to 6. I skipped ahead for us here. We're going to start on tapped Steam Vents, just getting our blue source down. We're playing a relatively fair deck, so we just have to keep that in mind. But turn 1 Grim Lava Mancer, you say? Yeah, all right. I will. Do I want to get down Urza Saga here? Kind of not. I just want to play out my hand. I think I'm going to play Inspiring Vantage and pay X equals 0 and exile Grim Lavamancer. It can be a problematic card, but more importantly, next turn, I think we're very clearly playing Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and then the following turn, I want to play Parallax Wave. Hmm. Play Urza's Saga, and then Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And if they play no creatures, maybe instead of Parallax Wave, I Expressive Iteration, and assuming I get to keep a treasure, or I get to make a treasure from Goblin Shaman, I will make a Construct, but I don't know if Constructs are really how we're winning this game. They're not the worst, though, with Fable of the Mirror Breaker, that's for sure. Making treasures and then making Constructs. Tireless Tracker. Well, in that case, I don't want to discard any of this. This is a great hand. Legitimately, I think I just decline and I'll shock in Sacred Foundry and then just Lightning Bolt this. Swing for 2 and make a Construct on their end step. It'll already be a 2/2 with Parallax Wave for whatever they deem they want to do. That could be problematic, but Parallax Wave is a pretty good counter to it. Make a Construct. I'm gonna tap this for a mana rather than make a second Construct. We're gonna just go get Mox Pearl here. Make Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And then using the colorless from Urza's Saga, I'm gonna play out Parallax Wave, swing for 6, and now whatever they sneak attack in, we can just exile with Parallax Wave if it's something we don't want attacking. Or dying, right? It sacrifices it. Yep. Emrakul we can't stop. Atali. Alright, let's see what they hit. Fiery Confluence, Wheel of Fortune? Well, there go all my artifacts or my board. Interesting. They could deal 2 to all creatures and then destroy 2 artifacts, and that would kill everything of mine. So they want to wheel first, huh? Oh no, Fiery Confluence first. Let's see what modes they choose. I can also exile my own Kiki Jiki to save it. So they can. So what they should do is destroy. Oh, deal 2 to everything and destroy an artifact. What are we doing? I would like to see what modes they chose. Destroy target artifact. Deal 1 to. Okay. It shows each mode, which I don't think they read that right. And then we wheel. They discarded Natural Order and 2 lands. Didn't draw counter magic, which I was really hoping for here. Interesting. This is honestly a pretty bad hand, but Tursa helps a lot. Expressive Iteration would have seen some combination of this, and we would have been not very happy about it. But Tursa gets to cast something for free from our graveyard? They only have 1 more red. That's assuming that they haven't played a land. Ren and 6. Interesting. And then ping Kiki Jiki. Land and graveyard, they have a single fetch. Okay. So I will exile Kiki Jiki to my Parallax Wave. I do think I take 7 here from Atali. I don't really want to give them Atali back when Parallax Wave leaves. Let's see what their second sneak attack target is. They're thinking about it. Could be anything. Well, it has to be a creature, I guess. Fanatic for 4 green now into Keen-Eyed Curator cast regularly. Interesting. And then you can use the remaining mana to exile cards from my graveyard. Kind of fine. I'm probably going to exile Keen-Eyed Curator so that I can kill Renin 6 with my Goblin Shaman. And we are absolutely playing Tursa here. Resolve. I can't stop this by interrupting it. It just, they get to do this no matter what. So I assume they're using their mana. This does mean Tursa isn't going to have enough things in the graveyard to trigger. Because they'll exile 3 things and I'll only be able to discard 1. Or I'll only be able to discard 2 unless I find another way. And I'm pretty content here just taking 7 from Atali. Go to 9. It's not ideal, but sneak attack triggers. In response, I'm going to just take the Keen-Eyed Curator now. Resolve all. Put Atali in the graveyard. My turn. Dak Faden is not the move right now. Let's start with Tursa, discarding 2 lands I don't want. See what we hit. Oh, you know what? A fetch land's actually fine, because that means I have 7 cards in graveyard for Tursa. We'll go get Taiga here because it's a free roll. And send 2 at Renin 6 and 3 at face. We got Portable Hole from our graveyard. No thank you. And then I'm just gonna barf all the creatures out of into my from my hand. And the reason I'm doing this is I want blockers for potential sneak attack things. And then we're just gonna hold up 2 parallax waves. I'm not too worried about parallax wave getting, running out of fade counters. Because right now I just give them back Keen-Eyed Curator, which is not that scary. 8 to 8. They kind of need a fiery confluence of their own right here. Problem with that though is I exile 2 of my own cards in response to that. They get 3 sneak attacks, but they got to do 2 last turn, and their best 2 things were Fanatic of Ronus and, Keen-Eyed Curator. Sure. They look at the top card of your library of any time and cast creature spells, so they cannot sneak attack them. Interestingly, it tapped a red here, so I guess that makes sense. They actually have probably at least 1 green thing. As of right now, they're dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, nope. They're 1 off of dying. Pass to attackers. I want to keep at least 1 fade counter on Parallax Wave. Ooh, Dak Faden's fun. I'm gonna play a Dak Faden. I'm gonna draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. I do actually have lethal, by the way. I can flip Jace, down tick Jace, get Lightning Bolt, and then cast Lightning Bolt at their face after I attack. Oh, Hello, Mexican Boo. I'm a big fan. I play a land. I cast Mexican Boo. Now there is a possibility. I mean, they can sneak attack on defense, which is kind of crazy. So I guess I don't have Lethal Express right now. I will make Mexican Boo. Thank you. I will put 3 counters on it and make it a 4/4. And we attack with everything but Mother of Runes and Jace. Or I might as well play the LED here and go to combat. Just keep in mind they can sneak attack in something here. We make a treasure. We get a free card from Tursa. It's probably a land. It is a land. And we go to blocks. We can block Tursa and take 7 down to 1. This has trample, so blocking this also means they go to 1. But doing it this way means that they don't kill anything, so that's probably not ideal. Okay. Okay. I will draw a card, discard a card with Jace. Flip him. Immediately activate for Lightning Bolt. Do you have a way to get Lightning Bolt out of my graveyard? Do you have a way to not die to Lightning Bolt? Also, we're going to make an additional Minkskin Boo token. It's pretty funny. Just realized. Um, Interesting deck from our opponent here. Kind of just red green beats. I don't really know. I mean, I assume that with natural order and stuff like that, they have better targets for sneak attack. Regardless, I think this is actually a, a deck where I'm going to bring in Haywire Might because it blows up sneak attack. And Stern Scolding hits Fanatic of Ronus, Tireless Tracker, Grim Lavamancer. It's a decent number of things. Also doesn't hit a decent number of things, which is concerning. But I mean, for a 1 mana counter spell, it's about as good as it asks for. Fiery Confluence is not good against them at all. And Teferi is not very good against them either. That's our 2 for 2 here. Haywire Might we can activate off of the green from what we're already splashing for from Ixkimbu. Our mana is so good that the green is kind of a free roll. We're literally playing a single forest just so that we can get it off Prismatic Vista, and I don't even think we necessarily need to be doing that. Okay, well, I sure do like playing turn 1 island for their turn 2 problematic creatures. And I have Brainstorm up to go with this Vista. We'll see what they do here, though. Haha, yeah, no thanks. I could play a turn to Expressive Iteration. I think I just play Vista here with the intent to crack it for post Brainstorm, shuffle away the 2 worst cards we have. I really want to find something that interacts with Sneak Attack, which we currently do not. Parallax Wave kind of does, right, in the same way it did last game, but not really what I'm looking for. Oh, Tursa of your own. All right, let's brainstorm and see what's up first. We can bounce. Uh, Horrible Hole's not the move here, obviously. I guess neither is my Triome. I'm gonna Lightning Bolt Tursa here. I'm gonna go get Mountain. I could get Forest, but I think I just want to kill Tursa immediately. Let them discard. So the plan here is we're gonna untap an Expressive. This is the other reason I'm fine with getting a Mountain, is before I play a land, I want Expressive Iteration. So if one of the cards I hit is a land, I can exile it and play it. They can discard up to 2 cards. Glorybringer, Sundering Titan. Yep, those are not cards you necessarily want to be keeping in your hand, unless you have sneak attack already. I'm immediately gonna Expressive Iteration. Hitting Echo, Miscalc, Mana Confluence, huh? Well, Miscalc goes to hand, Echo goes to the bottom, Mana Confluence goes in play. And then this turn here, they can play Sneak Attack while I have no counter magic. And then I'll Brazen Borrow it to hand and then Miscalc it the following turn. Might form Harmonizer. Interesting. Yeah. Well, now I just have Miscalc and Daze up. So I'm just going to pass and Brazen Borrower this, I assume. And then just Daze it when it comes back down. Hard casting Daze instead of bouncing an island. Renin 6, so you can return Scalding Tarn. Sure. It's a little annoying for my deck to deal with. Uh-huh. Play it, and then double trigger for Might Form Harmonizer. And when you crack it is when, in response, I'm going to Brazen Borrower it. Doop, doop, doop. So now you have no creature in play for the second trigger, and you had 1 less mana in play to be able to use it. It could be really weird here and warp it. I mean, I'm just going to Daze this. Just hard cast Daze. Seems free. Play a Verge. Play an Inti holding up Flashing and Brazen Borrower or Miscalc. So I can put pressure on this Renin 6. We are going to have to be worried about the fact they are getting up there mana-wise. They might start being able to just hard cast their big, sneak attack targets like a Tolly. Discard a card, deals 2 damage to each opponent. Well, I cannot unless you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. Oh, that can get parallaxed waved. I'm a fan of that. Deal 1 damage to my face instead of getting back a. Oh, because getting back the land is actually kind of bad. That's kind of funny. Well, Mox Pearl's a decent draw because now I'm quite contentedly going to just play Parallax Wave, take your Hazoret, go to combat, swing Brazen Borrower, Renin 6, Inti at your face. Discard Hollow Fountain. We haven't played a land. Put an additional 1/1 counter on Inti. Haven't played a land. We are gaming. Cast/play Urza's Saga. And now we get to start making constructs too. And we have Miscalc for land to Tolly here, which we haven't seen yet. Tolly didn't get discarded. Nope. All right, my turn. Parallax Wave ticks down. I could cycle Raregun Triome, but kind of no different than me attacking and discarding it. I just don't spend 3 extra mana. I'll play it on the Brazen Bee this time. Still haven't played a land. And so I'll just play this land for free. And then we'll make Construct because we have so much mana now. 8 mana. Still nothing from our opponent. Yeah, it seems like it's over. I guess they flooded. Wasn't really clear. I think the issue is their deck wasn't very clear. Like it had sneak attack, sure, but the distribution, it seemed like they were trying to do too many different things. They had a little bit of landfall stuff, they had a little bit of like natural order, sneak attack things. They had no mana dorks, right? Like no elves, nothing to accelerate that game plan. Way too slow for Vintage Cube if you're just gonna try to hard cast these like 4 or 5 mana plays with both no acceleration or early pressure. Hey, if you clicked on this video because you like watching perfect drafts, make sure you're subscribed. Drafts like this don't happen every day, you know. Huh. This is a funny hand. I think I keep it. Whereas Mag Vista turn one's not ideal because I don't know what colors I actually need. But Mana Confluence helps. Oof. Mox Jet. Whoa, into Ragavan and Cecil Dark Knight. That is an amazing draw. Um, huh. Well, I'm gonna play this, and I'm gonna Flame Slash Cecil. I think I'm just gonna let them keep the jet, and we're gonna just exile Ragavan. Your go, opponent. I'm gonna keep LED in hand in case they like him to Turok me. I don't want to play this and then have them him to Turok me 2 of these things away. Because LED wants to go in the graveyard anyway. Immediately into Fable the Mirror Breaker. So be it. Well, I'm going to play Urza's Saga. And at least next turn we get down Parallax Wave. Two good discards. Okay. They're in this. I get a treasure out of this. Oh, that's a great draw. I like that a lot better, I think, than making Construct. We'll play Vista here? No, I still think I play Forest here. And then I'm going to play Teferi and bounce their Goblin Shaman and draw a card. Into Jace. Very nice. Jace is a good draw. Teferi's or Failed Mirror Breaker flips, but they don't have haste. Teferi, of course, is in danger. And we don't have a lot of sorceries in our deck. We've already played 2 of them. So his uptick is really just a means to an end to get to downticking again. So if not dealt with, then in 3 turns I can downtick again. How could you? That was mine. Into Bitter Blossom Bearer main phase? I guess you're worried about counter magic, which I don't blame you. We have no targets now. It's really sad. We drew the LED and the Pearl. But I think here I'm gonna play Vista, activate it, have to go get a plane so that we can play Parallax Wave. And of course, to protect ourselves, we're just going to exile both of these things immediately and uptick to Fairy. Awesome combo is being able to return Parallax Wave to your hand before it runs out of fade counters, let them get the things back, and then just recast Parallax Wave. Although that doesn't work great with Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Life will go on. Reanimate Cecil, and then play the Embereth Shieldbreaker. Let's see what we draw. Brainstorm is possibly the best draw in my deck. It's certainly up there. We cast Brainstorm. Echo LED, huh? No, I think it's a Tursa. I think I want to play Tursa. I haven't played a land yet. I really don't want to Echo LED at all. So we're going to put those back. Doesn't really matter the order. So we're going to immediately shuffle them away. And we need red and blue. So Steam Vents it is. Unfortunately, that means we have to shock it in. But now Tursa gets to do things. Discarding. Discard either of these? I feel like the answer is no. And I'm just fine with them killing Teferi, right? Submit 0. Go to combat attack. Oh, we hit the Flame Slash. What a bummer. And then we just uptick this. The other option is we double Parallax Wave their 2 creatures. They get back all of their stuff next turn. Yeah, they need to kill Teferi here, which I'm fine with. I think I just let this happen. We have Expressive Iteration hopefully next turn to find us answers, and we get another Tursa trigger. I could save Tursa. Okay, that doesn't matter. I think before we play anything, we attack with Tursa and see what we hit. We lose a Fade counter. Portable Hole is amazing. Go to combat. Swing with Tursa. Let's see what we hit. Wooded Foothills. Not the most ideal, I would say. I'm going to replay Wooded Foothills, of course. And I don't know what lands I'm going to need. Assumably it's blue, though. So I actually need to do this first. So we need to get Basic Mountain here. Or Taiga, actually. I guess is technically better than Basic Mountain. Not by much, but it is. And then this means we can Expressive Iteration like this. It means we can't hit a land, but we already hit a land for free off Tursa. Ugh, that's awful. Breach. Yeah, LED's not in our graveyard. So if we play Breach, we exile 3 cards and replay Mox Pearl. What a bad draw. Alright, so what we do here is we put Miscalc to hand. We put Breach on the bottom and exile Hallowed Fountain, and we just don't cast it. We play Portable Hole on Cecil, and then we hold up Miscalc. And we can always just cycle the Miscalc. Parallax Wave's going to tick down to 0 next turn. But they need to deal with this Tursa. And my hope is that they can. Or that the way that they're going to deal with Tursa is via something that costs enough mana that Miscalc works. They don't see what we put to hand. We just look at the top 3. One goes to hand, one goes to exile face up, one goes to the bottom of our library. Down to 5. Pass? Sure. Oh, well, ain't that a draw? Steal 6 face. I mean, we'll start with Tursa. Go for the throat is enough. Hmm. That's really annoying. I guess, do I just play Jace then? Yeah. Okay. I see the lines. We're gonna try and kill them with, or we're gonna try to kill their whole board with Fiery Confluence next turn, including the Kiki Jiki that we give them back and the Cecil, or sorry, the Bitter Bloom Bearer. We'll do 2 to everything and 2 to their face. This blocks Vidarian Epicure and then flips into a Planeswalker that gives me back an instant or sorcery, which is Brainstorm, Pending, or Expressive Iteration. But much more likely, I will not downtick Jace and instead I'll uptick him so that I can try and recast Fiery Confluence to kill them the following turn. No, because we'll have to put them to 8. Ah, man. If we hit LED, we actually win. That's pretty funny. We gotta be real careful about our health total here. Mana Confluence is a problem. It's one of the reasons I didn't really like taking Mana Confluence, but it's better. It's kept us in this game. So we've lost 4 or 5 life to it this game. And imagine if we hadn't. Okay. No. Nice try. Mm-hmm. We have 5 cards in graveyard. Yeah. So this is a free block. Down to 2. They get all their stuff back. Resolve. Echo. Nope, that is not quite it. Activate ability. I guess I put Echo in the graveyard. I'm not using it. We Fiery Confluence them down 2 damage to each creature. I think I actually destroy the Mox Jet to keep them off 1 more mana. I play Ragran Triumph as my land, and I just uptick because I don't want to use Mana Confluence to put myself to 1. Problem is this gave them back Fable, so if they have anything that deals 2, they win this game. And they also have the ability to Blood Token. I could have blown up the Blood instead. I considered it. I had a feeling the extra mana was more relevant to them. They've gone so deep in their deck. 2 mana. No hits. I can get back Prismatic Ending, Brainstorm. Expressive Iteration digs the deepest without hurting me. I think we gotta do Expressive Iteration. It also costs 1 less. Okay. Yeah, Fable Mirror Breaker doesn't have haste, so it flipping changes kind of nothing for me. All right. Red, blue. Okay. Daze, I feel like has to go to hand. And then Sacred Foundry goes away. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And then I play Ocelot Pride. And I I guess bouncing Fable of the Mirror Breaker is better than casting this as a 3/3 and taking a damage for it. Like there's some mana type. I don't think I care if they recast Fable of the Mirror Breaker. If that's what they do with their turn and I daze it, and then I get to start attacking with Ocelot Pride. Oh, Daze, I love you. Um, Bounce Raugrim Triome. Okay. Why didn't they do that in response to other things? I don't know. I feel like you do that in response to expressive iteration, try and prevent me from. Okay. And remember, we can down tick Jace again and okay, down tick Jace again to re-get back Fiery Confluence? No. Will we want that? I guess Brainstorm here? Yeah, we just down tick. Oh, we only have one blue source that doesn't hurt us. I still think it's Brainstorm. And we cast it immediately. Reprieve Fable. Yeah, that's pretty great. Put those two on the bottom. Doesn't really matter if you order, I guess. Um, Land, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and we're holding up Reprieve. And we have to double block the fear of missing out, otherwise it untaps itself and kills me. And I'm reprieving literally whatever they play. Partially because it puts a fresh card in my hand, because I want to discard Ragrum Triumph and Dak Fade in a way. Uh-huh, no. We go to 1. You have a way to do 1? I guess they can put me to 2, basically, right? Because they attack, and I double block. That was the easiest snap off of reprieve of my life. There's just no chance. Yep, you untap it. I have to block. We go back up to 2. We discard both of these. They do not help me. Lightning Bolt could help. It kills most things for Amped Raptor. Could hit. So we just let this resolve. Let's see what they even want to try and resolve. We also have the ability to flash in Brazen Borrower, paying probably honestly for treasure, just to keep myself at 2 instead of 1. I don't know what does 1 that doesn't deal 2 other than Orcish Bowmasters, which is already in their graveyard. I guess they could reanimate Orcish Bowmasters. Didn't they already cast reanimate? Yeah, they have reanimate. It's just a good card. Yeah, they're playing black-red aggro. The fact that I've lived this long at 2 health is crazy. Mox Ruby resolves. So they have double Mox for their colors. Mox Jet and Mox Ruby. Crazy. Lelia. That's why we like Lightning Bolt. Get out of here. Pass. I stay at 2 just in case it's relevant. And then top deck Minskamboo. GG. Show him the Minskamboo. Take action. Okay, black red, very aggro. Galvanic Blast looks great. Ugh. I want to play Haywire Might. Kind of bad at the same time. So it's good because it can blow up Moxen, it can blow up Corey Steelcutter, and Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It's bad because it's a 1/1 that dies to Orcish Bowmasters. But I think it's still worth it. I think that all those things just said are still worth it. And I do not think this is an Echo of Eon's deck. The reason being they have such a low curve, giving them 7 cards is usually bad for us and good for them. Still think we keep. Honestly, no. I think I'd take out the full combo. LED, Underworld Breach. It's just too slow to assemble. I'd rather just have more removal, better cards. Deck Faden's pretty good against them with double mocks as well. A lot of targets. Ooh, Corey Steelcutter, steal that. Sign me up. Okay, we really grinded for that game. Vista for whatever the hell we want. Seems great. I'm gonna shock in a Steam Vents here though, because we need to get planes with Vista. So we're holding up Stern Scolding and Daze. If they go land, play a 2-drop, and then try to play a Mox and I Daze it, I'm gonna go crazy. Alright, well that's a good start. Counterspell of a Generous Plunderer. Oh look, I have no mana up. Oh, just kidding, you have no mana up. Alright, Vista here for a plane seems great. That way I'll have Prismatic Ending, Mother of Runes next turn, but most likely I'm just miscalculating. Using mana efficiently is important. I would love for them to play a Mox here, weirdly. Alright, well I actually want to draw lands, so getting a land out of my deck not as important to me right now. What to do, what to do, what to do. Seems like a bitter Blossom Bear, and if that's what this is, yucky. You'll get the plains, and I'm just going to play Mother of Runes. We're just inviting Orcish Bowmasters, because we have Counter Magic up. The best time to invite Orcish Bowmasters. Bitterbloom Bearer. What to do, what to do, what to do. I think I just pending it the following turn. If I miscalc this and I'm holding up Daze and they play Orcish Bowmasters, it's kind of the same thing, I guess. All right. It seems like they don't have mana. I can't believe they didn't shock this in, knowing that I have like miscalc and Daze, even giving me the option. Sure. Corey Steelcutter into Inti. I shall Daze that. You still get the Monk trigger. But I got bad news for you about how Dak Faden works. Uh-huh. Shock this back in. That's actually my Corey Steelcutter now. Thank you very much. I do not get to unattach it. I'd have to pay for that. So what we're going to do here, we cannot save Dak Faden, unfortunately. Dak Faden must go. Okay. That we can block. Let's see what they do here. They need to attack Dak Faden with the Monk in order to kill it. And then Lelia can go face. Yep. Let's see what you flip. Ooh, that's a miss. Pass to blockers. I block with Mother of Runes. I give Mother of Runes protection from red. I take no damage. Haywire Might. That'll be a good draw or a good play next turn. This turn we just have to kill Lelia. So we do X equals 2. Cast all the colors. Red, blue, white. And Mother of Runes stays untapped, of course. The monk is a white creature, which is a little annoying. It does, Mother Runes does save me 1 damage, but we will get to unequip Corey Steelcutter now. And if they have a removal spell from Mother Runes here, I'm kind of fine with it. So yeah, next turn we play Tursa. Which we do in. Gotta be worried. They have some burn. We did see. Yep, that's one of those burn pieces. Sacred Foundry. No thanks. I'm going to play Tursa. I'm going to discard Sacred Foundry. And I'm going to attack with Tursa first rather than play the thing in case I hit a card I want to play. Hey, that's a card I want to play. And I would like to equip my Corey Steelcutter to my own monk. It was my Corey Steelcutter all along. So now the monk just has prowess. It no longer has trample. Yeah, that's Dak Faden for you. Dak Faden's really good, especially Vintage Q, but it's also just a good card. All right, 2-0, pretty convincing. We're actually 4-0, 2-0, 4-0. See if we can keep going. Match 3, here we go. Let's see if we can go 3-0. On the play, I think I like this hand. Play a Verge. And I think 99.9% of the time I'm just slamming Jace here. Oh, I guess actually I want to play Inti. Goes well with the Tursa. The following turn. Inquisition. Yeah, sure. You can discard my Tursa. Here's helping me get towards Jace. Till your next end step. Ooh. So I can actually just play the Steam Vents next turn. And then reanimate my Tursa? Wild. Okay. Gross. Field of the Dead and Taiga. I'm not blocking, that's for sure. Oh, Lightning Bolt my own Tursa. I guess that's what I'll do. I'm going to go to combat first, though. Discard this Mana Confluence. I do not want it. Get a 1/1 counter on Inti. Miscalc, I kind of didn't want anyway. Now I'm going to go... Yeah, we'll make the most of our mana here. Steam Vents, Shocked in, and then play Jace and just immediately Lightning Bolt this before they have a chance to do anything else with it. Also puts another card in our graveyard, so Jace is very soon going to be able to flip and let me recast Lightning Bolt, Tireless Tracker. We have Expressive Iteration. Seems like a smart play here. Put Brazen Bee to hand, Mountain to bottom, Pearl in play. Play it. Use Jace. Discard the Pearl. And then I now have 5 cards to flip Jace and Lightning Bolt Tireless Tracker. Wow, we were gaming there. Okay, so we saw 3 cards and they're a land strategy. I mean, I don't feel like I have enough information. I guess Tireless Tracker gets Stern Scoldinged, but if they're a lands package, there's a lot of good Stern Scolding targets in theory. Saw no artifacts, so I'll take Dak Faden out. We can always put it back in if we see more. But he's a pretty non-board presency card. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Not really sure what to make of that one. Keep it rolling. We're 5-0 with this deck. Do 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 do. Turn one Mother of Runes, huh? Generally speaking, I'm a fan of that. Ooh, never mind. Bolt the Bird. Someone say Bolt the Bird? Yep. I think we Bolt the Bird and then Echo. I'm kind of losing nothing for this. And this might mess them up quite a bit. Didn't draw our Mox. Pretty good hand. Hollowed Fountain to be able to daze Stern Scolding, do all the things. Exploration. That's gonna get Portable Hold. Hollowed Fountain, Portable Hole, go away. And then we have Stern Scolding and Daze available. Uh-huh. They can take Fable, Lightning Bolt, Stern Scolding, or Daze. They can't take Minkskambu, though. That's going to be a problem for you in a couple turns here. And this time I have no creature for them to immediately reanimate like a jerk. That was mean. I'm liking where we're at right now. Yeah, I'll Stern Scolding that. Just be mana efficient. I don't know how many real targets I'm going to have for that. I don't want to mess around. All right, and now we have Brainstorm to potentially protect Minkskambu and also find a fourth land so we can play Minkskambu. Uh-huh. All right, well, I will Brainstorm. Found our land. Even a fetch. It's pretty great. I guess the card I'm not going to keep is Mother of Runes. It's just not very good here. My turn. Play the fetch we found. And we're holding up Daze even to protect this Minkskambu. I have double white. I don't really want to pay more life. So I'll just go get a Taiga. And then we'll pay Minkskambu. Uptick on Minkskambu. Hit him with a 4/4. Hit him with the 4/4. Bam. All right. So now even if they have an answer for Minkskambu, it needs to be under days. And I get left with a 4/4 Trample Haste for my troubles. Like I basically played a 4-mana 4/4 Trample Haste that has a Planeswalker you have to remove as well. Elder Gargaroth. Okay. Decline. Hmm. I think I cash in Boo here on the Gargaroth, draw 4 cards, and then Lightning Bolt it the rest of the way. Play Island, Pearl, Ocelot Pride, holding up Miscalc and Daze. Seems pretty good. So Minkskambu right now was 4 mana, deal 4 damage to their face, draw 4 cards, and deal 4 damage to Elder Gargaroth. And it's still a Planeswalker that got left behind for me to use. I'm gonna miscalc this. They just didn't pay for it. Oh, cute. Very cute. I can't daze that. Well played, opponent. What land do you go get here? You have Field of the Dead in play, so Field of the Dead will make a 2/2, assuming you don't go get a basic forest. Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, that's a lot of 2/2s pretty soon here. Take action. Do we have 5 mana or 5 colors? We do. So we can play Mana Confluence and then X equals 4 so that we can kill or exile Golos. I've already played a land. I think I just attack. I'm not worried about Minx and Boo going to 1. And I'm way more interested in pressuring them. I did an expressive iteration there. I could have expressive iteration first, but Mana Confluence is the only land I can play in my deck that makes black for me to play to be able to exile Golos with Prismatic Ending. So expressive iterationing and trying to hit a land off of it doesn't actually do anything. No blocks. Minx and Boo goes to 1. Orcish Bowmasters to finish off my Minx and Boo. That's super fair. You kind of have bigger problems though, which is Boo. Let's start with expressive iteration. Inti to hand, Verge to bottom, Urza's Saga as my land. This gives trample when I discard. And then we also just get to Brazen Bee the 2/2. And that's a wrap. As Ocelot Pride becomes a trampler. And so we have 6 damage, and they have 2 blockers, 2 damage worth of blockers, so they die. Perfect plays. Literally perfect, clean 3-0, 6-0 with this deck. 1 piece of power, Mox Pearl, nothing too crazy. This deck is rock solid. I mean, it doesn't have any holes. It has amazing removal, excellent game plan for the late game, and great ways to, filter our draws and get there. And possibly the best mana I've ever had in a vintage cube deck. Yes, I only have 1 fetch, but does that really matter when we have this many non-basics for our colors and they're all premium? So we never really got to do the thing with Underworld Breach with our Underworld Breach plus LED combo. The LED was super relevant. I mean, we got to use LED to play things out of our graveyard, and we also had that one game where they went turn 1 birds, and then we bolted the bird and LED echoed, and our hand, I feel like, was much better than their hand after that. So yeah, really fun one. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to be doing too many more of these. So if you've been enjoying this, let me know in the comments, and maybe I will do a couple more. And I'd also really appreciate if you subscribed. I'm really trying to get to 100. That's like a huge break point for YouTube channels and also just me personally. So it'd mean a lot to me if you subscribed. But more important than any of that, I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks.